After God had rescued his people from the power of the Egyptians, he entered the desert in the land of Zin and settled there. There was no water there for the people to drink, so they got together and they went to Moses and Aaron to complain. They said, "If only we had died with our brothers who died for disobeying God. Why have you brought God's people into the desert? Have you brought us here to die? Why have you brought us from Egypt where there's food and drink into this desert where there isn't even water for us to drink?" Moses and Aaron left the people and went to the tabernacle, the tent where God met with his people, and they fell with their faces to the ground at the doorway. God's glory appeared to them, and the Lord spoke to Moses. He said, "Take your staff and call the people together. Then you and Aaron are to speak to the rock while the people watch, and it will pour out water for everyone to drink." So Moses took the staff from the Lord's presence and called everyone together in front of the rock as the Lord had commanded him. Moses said, "Listen, you rebels, must we make water come out of this rock for you?" Then Moses raised his staff and hit the rock twice with his staff, and so much water burst out of the rock that everyone had enough to drink. But that was not what God had told Moses and Aaron to do. He had told them to speak to the rock, not hit it. They had disobeyed God, and so God said to them, "Because you did not trust me to show my holiness to the Israelites, but did things your way, you will not lead these people into the land I have given to them." I wonder, have you ever asked, where is God in these hard times? Or, why is God allowing bad things to happen? Well, we can see an answer to those questions when we look here at the Israelites in Numbers chapter 20. They were in a very hard situation. They are in the middle of a desert with no water. Not having any water in the desert is never a good thing. So what do the Israelites do? They panic and they whinge and they complain to their leaders instead of trusting God and asking Him to provide for them. But in this tough time, we see that God is there with them. He is ready to listen and ready to act and provide for them, giving them the water that they need in an amazing way that showed His people that He is powerful and holy. He is worthy of their trust and their praise. When we are going through hard times, God is never far away. He is always ready to listen. We might not feel like it and might not understand why God is allowing something to happen, but God is always trustworthy and has a plan that is bigger than what we are going through, a plan to save and provide for His people. In this story, Moses didn't think God's way was as good as his way and decided not to trust Him and to take matters into his own hands, hitting the rock with his staff instead of speaking to it, and he missed out on going into the promised land because of it. Trusting God and doing things His way is always the best, even when it's hard. Doing things our way always ends up in missing out on some of the good things that God is planning for our future.